This is News 25 with Deanna O'Donnell and Unette Gentry. News 25, local news you can count on. News is brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law. Call 727-9900 today for your free consultation. If you need a lawyer, you need Nelson. This segment of the news is brought to you by Silver State Health, bringing quality medical and psychiatric care to Pahrump. Call 775-505-1214 for an appointment.
Thanks for tuning in to KPVM TV and Ace Country Radio's News 25. I'm Deanna O'Donnell.
And I'm Unette Gentry. It's Thursday, January 28th.
Well, one vehicle crash this morning in a neighborhood is believed to have been caused by a medical incident.
Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue and Nye County Sheriff's Office responded to a one-vehicle accident this morning on Lupin Street in Pahrump. The driver lost control of the vehicle and crashed through several mailboxes on the street and finally a large tree located in front of a home at 820 Lupin Street. While still under investigation, the accident is believed to have been caused by a medical incident. The driver was taken for medical treatment by ambulance and at the time was alert and speaking.
Well, it's time once again for red flag exercises at Nellis Air Force Base, and that means a lot more aircraft will be in the skies throughout southern Nevada.
More than 80 aircraft are scheduled to depart Nellis twice a day as part of Red Flag 21-1. More planes in the sky mean more noise, and you may hear that noise at night too as air crews train for nighttime combat operations. The Red Flag exercise is organized at Nellis Air Force Base and hosted north of Las Vegas on the Nevada Test and Training Range, an area encompassing more than 12,000 square miles of airspace and nearly 3 million acres of land. Red Flag gives air crews an opportunity to experience advanced, relevant, and realistic combat-like situations in a controlled environment to increase their ability to complete missions and safely return home. It also helps prepare maintenance personnel, ground controllers, and space and cyber operators to support those missions. The exercise is just one of a series of advanced training programs administered at Nellis and on the Nevada Test and Training Range by organizations assigned to the U.S. Air Force Warfare Center. First held in 1975, Red Flag exercises bring together air crews from the Air Force, Navy, Marine Corps, Army, and numerous NATO and allied nations' air forces. Nellis hosts several of these operations each year. Red Flag 21-1 continues through February 12th.
Thanks to Brad Francis for that report. Well, President Joe Biden is announcing some new steps to speed the vaccination of Americans against COVID-19. And the president says the plan's success relies on an increased supply of the COVID-19 vaccines.
First, after review of the current vaccine supply and manufacturing plans, I can announce that we will increase overall weekly vaccination distributions to states, tribes, and territories from 8.6 million doses to a minimum of 10 million doses. The vaccines are distributed to states based on population. They're based on population. And so the smaller the state, the less vaccine, the bigger the state, the more they get. And so this is going to allow millions of more Americans to get vaccinated sooner than previously anticipated. We got a long way to go, though. The second thing, we're increasing the transparency with states, cities, and tribes and local partners when it comes to the vaccine supply. This is something we've heard over and over again from both Democrats and Republicans, state and local leaders, that they need a plan in order to they need to know what they have to plan on. They need to know what the order is going to be. These two steps are going to help increase our prospects of hitting or exceeding, God willing, the ambitious goal of 100 million shots in 100 days. And we believe that we'll soon be able to confirm the purchase of an additional 100 million doses for each of the two FDA-authorized vaccines, Pfizer and Moderna. These aggressive steps to increase vaccine supply come on top of the steps we took last week to get more people vaccinated for free, to create more places for them to get vaccinated, and to mobilize more medical teams to get shots in people's arms. We're working to make vaccines available to thousands of local pharmacies beginning in early February. It's a couple weeks off. And that will enormously expand our reach. We're also expanding testing, which will help schools and businesses reopen safely and protect the most vulnerable. But the brutal truth is, it's going to take months before we can get the majority of Americans vaccinated. Months. In the next few months, masks, not vaccines, are the best defense against COVID-19. We're going to get through this. We will defeat this pandemic. And to a nation waiting for action, let me be clearest on this point. Help is on the way. We can do this if we come together, if we listen to the scientists.
In more local news, back in December, News 25 reported that the Board of County Commissioners had voted to approve a rate increase for Pahrump Valley disposal. That agenda item reappeared at their most recent meeting.
At the December 30th Board of County Commissioners meeting, the commissioners went against the district attorney's recommendation and approved agenda item number 11. The item asked for a rate increase of 19.19% to be given to Pahrump Valley Disposal for garbage collection. The rate increase was asked for due to unsustainable rates in the current CPI index regarding fees collected for elective waste and recycling services due to the outcome of increased participation, changing market conditions, and associated costs. At the December 30th meeting, Commissioner Koenig cited past history and the board's charter that gives the commissioners the authority to adjust rates if they choose. The last time there had been a rate increase for trash pickup was in 2000. At that time, Michelle Nelson of the DA's office informed the board that there was legal research underway on this agenda item and it was not yet complete. Nelson said that there is a process that needs to be completed before the board can make a rate adjustment, and Nelson strongly recommended that the commissioners wait for legal opinion before taking any further action. The commissioners voted 4-1 to approve the rate increase. This item was brought back before the commissioners at the January 20th meeting. This time, the agenda action was to discuss and deliberate to rescind the action taken on this item at the December meeting if the board determines that an unforeseen economic circumstance has occurred during a given 12-month period. Then the board may consider and approve a method for adjusting rates. Michelle Nelson reported at the meeting that needed research has now been completed, and the conclusion of the district attorney's office is that Pahrump Town Ordinance 43.270 had not been followed in making the rate increase. The board voted 5-0 to rescind the item, but it may be placed on a later agenda.
All right, we're telling you about a milestone we're approaching for COVID-19 vaccines when News 25 returns.
You're watching News 25, the most recognized and farthest reaching local news in Nye County. News 25, local news you can count on. This segment of the news is brought to you by P&P Property Management. Knowledge, experience, communication, and trust. Call Cynthia at 775-727-4444.
Welcome back. Well, the Fed remains committed to propping up the economy. Walgreens' new CEO is breaking barriers, and Apple reports a record-breaking fourth quarter. Angela Miles reports.
Topping our news, the Fed stands ready to continue to rescue the economy. Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell told reporters Wednesday that rates will remain low until well after the economic recovery from the pandemic. Powell notes that the labor market is faltering, with nearly 10 million jobs lost, and hiring has slowed for the past 6 months. Retail sales have declined for 3 months. Fed policymakers conclude it's mostly up to containing coronavirus with the vaccine to get the economy going again. Walgreens has a new CEO. Rosalind Brewer takes the top spot at the pharmacy chain this summer. Brewer becomes the first Black woman to lead a Fortune 500 company. Turning to earnings news, Apple is reporting a blowout quarter. The company's record-breaking revenue topped a stunning $111 billion, well above estimates. Business was driven by sales of 5G iPhones and Mac computers.
Thanks so much, Angela. And turning back now to local news, the VA is administering its 10,000th dose of the Pfizer-BioNTech COVID-19 vaccine this Friday, January 29th. Since giving the first dose of the vaccine back on December 16th, the VA has vaccinated more than 5,200 veterans and 2,300 healthcare workers. The vaccination rate for the VA is 8%, and that's higher than the national average. And the VA has also vaccinated 2,300 healthcare workers, which is helping us reach the herd immunity. 74% of the VA staff has also been vaccinated. This puts the VA locally above the national VA average. And the VA has also expanded the eligible groups for the Pfizer-BioNTech COVID-19 vaccine at the North Las Vegas VA Medical Center under the following guidelines. Veterans 80 years or older can reserve their vaccine or have a walk-in appointment. Those who are 70 to 79 must wait until they are called, and those under 70 can try to make an appointment when that age group is eligible.
All right, and that number to call 702-791-9185, and that's 702-791-9189 if you would like to have a vaccination appointment. Of course, if you're 80 and above, you can walk into the clinic at the VA hospital anytime between the hours of 7:30 and 4:30 and just get a COVID-19 vaccination. Well, it is official. The SSC Tatara is now the official fastest car on the planet.
SSC North America tried to set a new speed record back in October when it ran the 1,750 horsepower carbon fiber Tatara on a stretch of Nevada 160 between Pahrump and Las Vegas. Out of 2 runs, SSC initially reported an average speed of more than 316 miles per hour, which easily beat the previous record of nearly 278 miles per hour set by the Koenigsegg Agera RS in 2017. But SSC North America founder Jared Shelby later acknowledged the inability to accurately verify those results. So, for the time being, Koenigsegg would retain its record. But that would change on January 17th when SSC took the Tatara to Kennedy Space Center in Florida. There, on a runway previously used for space shuttle landings, Dr. Larry Kaplan, the first person to buy a Tatara, pushed the car to an average speed of nearly 283 miles per hour. That's right, the driver to set the new record is not a professional. For this record attempt, SSC contracted with RaceLogic USA to validate the speed results. Speed and time data was collected with a RaceLogic V-Box system, accurate to plus or minus 0.06 miles per hour. Onboard video speed overlay was also collected during these runs for further correlation. Because Kaplan is not a professional driver, the Tatara was detuned a bit, with the car's full power only made available at the middle of 7th gear. Shelby says that means with some further tuning, the Tatara has a good shot at hitting 300 miles per hour in a future run. We'll keep you posted.
In other local news, an investigation into child pornography leads to an arrest.
During the course of an investigation into the possession of child pornography, Antonio Reyes was found to be in possession of an SD card containing numerous images of child pornography to include adults abusing female children. During an October interview with Reyes, he allegedly said that he did have an Android cell phone that he had left at his ex's mother's residence where the SD card was located. He stated that he was in custody and did not have possession of the cell phone. He said that he believed the pornography was put on his phone while he was incarcerated. The SD card was sent to a forensic lab for digital data analysis. When the SD card came back from the lab, more artifacts of child pornography along with date and times of creation were noted. The dates of the images and videos were created before Reyes was incarcerated, and a search determined he was not detained at that date and time. Reyes was arrested for possession of visual pornography of a person under the age of 16 and was transported to Nye County Detention Center for booking.
Well, as the number of COVID cases across the United States continues to rise, so does the fallout from the pandemic to our schools and children. A shocking estimate puts the number of students who have not been in school since March in the millions. As Kim Martinez reports, the vast majority of those students are thought to be homeless.
My car, parks, hotels, bouncing from friends' house, a couple family members. Anything and anywhere so my kids weren't really outside.
From a coveted spot in a homeless shelter, Cynthia Culver talks about trying to care for her 2 young boys during the pandemic while living out of the family car with no place to go, not even school.
And they were doing online schooling. What I would do is, because I had Wi-Fi on my phone, the hotspot, I would pay a little extra so that they could go to school. They had the laptops, and We would sit in the car or go to the park. You know, they could just go online, wipe their faces at the gas station, put on a different t-shirt, and sit in front of the laptop.
As extreme as Cynthia's experience has been, her and her sons are definitely not alone. According to a recent survey, there are 3 million children who are considered missing from school since COVID-19 hit hard and mass online distance learning began. A large percentage are believed to be homeless.
She just told me everything is online.
Darlene Newsom has spent the last 3 decades running a shelter for the homeless. She knows the astronomical numbers are real, just from the increasing size of her own waiting list.
Where are these families? Some of these families are on the street. Some of these families are living in their car. Some of these families are doubled and tripled up in different apartments. They're all over the place. And so what happens to those children? What happens to their learning?
For Cynthia, homeless or not, her boys will get an education.
They need an education. In this world, you can't do anything without your education. So I am very strict on that. No matter homeless, hungry, anything, they go to school.
But she also knows families who are part of the 3 million missing children.
I know a few people from different areas and neighborhoods that I grew up with. The parents didn't even try. They didn't care enough to put their kids in school or make the effort to have them go to school.
In addition to not getting an education, with schools closed, Newsom is also worried about the general care of homeless children.
Now we have less eyes on our children. They identify through their homeless liaisons, through the teachers, those kids who are coming to school that need additional, they don't have hygiene, they're coming in the same clothes, they don't have their lunches, they don't have their supplies. And so they easily are able to identify who these children are, especially those children who are living on the street. We need to open our schools back up.
Kim Martinez reporting.
And after this break, we'll tell you which local gaming corporation is getting some much-deserved kudos.
You're watching News 25, brought to you by Mountain West Lawyer, Injury Attorneys, 727-9500. News 25, local news you can count on. News is brought to you by Canyon Ridge Periodontics. Give them a call at 702-966-0302.
Welcome back. Well, Caesars Entertainment, the largest gaming and entertainment company in the U.S., is being recognized for its leadership and efforts in corporate social responsibility.
Caesars Entertainment now ranks 104 on Newsweek's list of America's most responsible companies, occupying the top spot in the entertainment, leisure, and dining category. The company has jumped up 42 spots since last year. The list of most responsible companies is determined by publicly available environmental, social, and corporate governance data and survey feedback from 7,500 Americans. Newsweek recognizes Caesars out of a pool of more than 2,000 of the country's largest revenue-generating corporations. Caesars Entertainment is also being recognized for its leadership in corporate sustainability by global environmental nonprofit CDP. Caesars secured 2 spots on CDP's A list for tackling climate change and addressing water security. Caesars CEO Tom Reeg says, "We often talk about the power our incredible team members have to create guest experiences that drive our lasting successes at Caesars Entertainment. That same power is amplified in their commitment not just to guests, partners, and the environment, but to each other and to the communities in which we live and work. It's through the steadfast work, compassion, and generosity of dedicated Caesars team members that we can make a positive impact that continues to grow each year."
Well, we have your medical minute for this week. We speak to Dr. Lewis of Spring Mountain Medical, who explains the positive effects of getting chiropractic adjustments.
This medical minute is brought to you by Spring Mountain Medical, healthcare the way you've always imagined it.
Hi, I'm Dr. Lewis, a chiropractic physician here at Spring Mountain Medical. Is it true that getting a chiropractic adjustment can have a positive effect on my body? Answer: yes. The medical community agrees that the nervous system controls the immune system. When the nervous system is irritated by spinal subluxations, this can interfere with the body's ability to have a healthy immune system, which can cause a person to become susceptible to illness. Chiropractic is not a question of belief. It is science backed up by several research studies such as the Canadian studies, British studies, and the famous RAND study, which substantiate the benefits of chiropractic in addition to the references below, such as the University of California, San Francisco, which did a study that stated that signals from the nervous system influence immune system, as the study shows. My name is Dr. Lewis, and this has been a Medical Minute brought to you by Spring Mountain Medical.
Well, studies show pregnant women with severe COVID-19 are at higher risk for hospitalization, ICU admission, and ventilation. So moms-to-be might be wondering if they should get the coronavirus vaccine when it becomes available to them. Cleveland Clinic's Dr. Tosin Goji says although there haven't been vaccine trials done during pregnancy, existing safety data is reassuring.
Based on peer-reviewed, vigorous scientific review of the data that we have, though is in non-pregnant patients, we feel it's safe for pregnant patients who desire the vaccine to get it, especially if the risk of acquiring COVID in their community is high.
Dr. Goji says the 2 COVID-19 vaccines that have received emergency use authorization don't contain any live virus. Because there's no live virus, they are not thought to cause any pregnancy-related problems or infertility issues. In addition, she says the vaccine doesn't enter our DNA or change our genetic makeup. That said, she encourages women to talk to their healthcare provider about any questions or concerns.
Trials in pregnant patients are ongoing right now, so I'm confident that by the time the vaccine is offered to the general pregnant population, we should have some data that will further reassure the pregnant patient. But there are no safety signals or concerns right now.
Whether vaccine is accepted or not, Dr. Goji encourages women to continue to wear a mask, socially distance, and wash their hands.
Well, if your computer isn't running like it used to, and of course mine is not, there's a good chance it can be fixed. Josh Osborne from Great Computer Deal says that if you've done something that caused the problem, which I probably did, it's important to learn from your mistake.
Hi, it's Josh with Pahrump's own Great Computer Deals. Let's get right into it. It's time for another quick tutorial. Josh's brutal truth. Things your computer repair guy won't tell you. Number 1. It's not the computer's fault, it's yours. You are the one that installed that junk program, and you're the one that allowed that guy from India to remote into your computer and get access to your bank account. And you're the one that let that computer overheat with 5 years worth of dust inside it. Listen guys, we get it. Computers don't come easy to everyone. We understand that, but there is hope and we really, truly care. All that matters is that things get fixed and resolved, and that we live and learn how to make sure these problems don't repeat themselves. Why trust a technician when you can trust a friend? Great Computer Deals is located at 1190 East Highway 372. Call us at 775-990-8833.
News 25 WeatherCam is brought to you by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorney's Office in Pahrump. In a wreck, need a check? Call 702-877-1500.
Hi, it's John Kohler on location at Highway 160. Seda Trudeau's hosting us this afternoon as we observe the weather. It's been rainy. You can see some rain down here. Probably get a nice truck, maybe like this green Jeep here, and get you through the rain the next couple days. Boy, we got some stuff coming at us tomorrow, especially tomorrow morning. They're talking about rain and snow mixed. We'll tell you about all the weather we can expect this week when we return.
News 25 weather is brought to you by Dairy Council of Nevada. The splash of cream in your coffee, the dollop of sour cream on your burrito, the melted toasty cheese on your pizza. Undeniably delicious, undeniably dairy. Enjoy what's real.
And here's your weather from the desk. We are looking at your lows tonight at 42, winds out of the southeast at 17 miles an hour, humidity at 46%, cloudy and rainy tonight, sunset 5:06. Your 7-day forecast shows tomorrow 60% chance of rain here in Pahrump with some snow flurries. Your high of 48, low of 32 Saturday and Sunday, mid to low 50s there and your daytime highs. And of course, your overnights there, 32 is your low on Saturday, 39 Sunday. And the rest of the week, we are seeing your low 60s dropping down to the high 40s by next Thursday with cloudy skies, and your overnights there 42 is your high and low of 30 by next Thursday.
All right, like Conan O'Brien, everybody, good night.
Good night.